Both IFRS and US GAAP include the concept of impairment. However, they use different methods to determine the impairment and its amount, with international standards tending more toward frequent and larger impairments. Our discussion today covers assets that are expected to be held and used in operations and not held for sale or discontinued operations. So let's take a look at the three largest differences. First, the higher volatility of impairments under IFRS is primarily due to the fact that it has a one-step impairment test for determining the impairment amount, whereas US GAAP has a two-step process. Second, the level at which assets are grouped can be different under each standard. Under IFRS, the company looks to an active market for the output generated by assets. This may be a different market from which the company normally operates. For example, a chemical company may produce a chemical in plant A, which it further modifies at plant B before selling it. If an active market exists for the chemical from plant A, the recoverable amount is determined at that level. Under US GAAP, the company looks at how their company currently operates when determining inflows for assets. In the prior example, the market which exists for the chemical from plant A would not be considered. Only the market for the product from plant B would be considered. Thus, the grouping of assets for impairment testing under IFRS may be at a lower and/or different level than as it is under US GAAP. And the last major difference, unlike US GAAP, IFRS allows reversals of impairments, except for goodwill. Under IFRS, an asset's recoverable amount is calculated and compared to its carrying amount. If the recoverable amount is less, an impairment is recorded. Under US GAAP, in Step 1, an asset's undiscounted cash flows are compared to its carrying amount. And if the cash flows are less than the carrying amount, Step 2 is performed. In Step 2, the fair value of the asset is determined and written down to that amount. For assets that have uncertainties in their timing and amount, an expected present value technique will often be used to estimate the fair value. And so, as you can see, while both US GAAP and IFRS support impairments, the guidelines for how impairments are determined are different under the two sets of standards.